All right, everybody, I think we are live. So, hello, agentpreneurs out there. Welcome to the first episode of many of the Daily List Report. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But I want to welcome everybody here today. I am Randy Shiozaki. I am one of the co founders of ListReports. I also have the good fortune of being your host right now. I'm going to load in the comments here. So if anybody has any comments, feel free to ask questions. We'll try to get to all of them. So this is a grand experiment for us. We are trying to figure out, during these times, how to provide leadership and advice. We've got a lot of great experts within our company, and we're going to be bringing them on. And I'll talk more about some of our guests in just a moment. But, this is a daily show. We're going to do this Monday through Friday. For now, I get to be your host. As I said, I'm super grateful for that opportunity. We've gotten some really good feedback on these live streams that we've done over the last week. So we're still relatively new to this. The idea behind this show, and I'm going to bring on my co-founder AJ in just a moment. The idea behind this show is that for 10 to 15 minutes a day, we are going to cover things that are highly topical. So we're going to cover things that are in the news because things are changing so quickly. Tomorrow's guest is actually going to be our in-house attorney, Justin Aragon, our VP of Legal. A wonderful guy. You're going to really enjoy hearing from him. And he's breaking down some of the stimulus package and how that benefits you, our agents, out in the world. What you can learn about some of the things that are happening right now from a legislative perspective and how you can take advantage of some of those programs. Later in the week, we're going to have AJ back. We're going to have our Director of Customer Growth. His name is Raj Shiva. He's also a real estate agent, and so he's going to talk a little bit about what he's seeing on the ground. On Friday, we're going to have a resident economist in the house, Scott Brickson, talking about his perspective and view on what's happening with the economy. And so what we're trying to do every day for 10 to 15 minutes is bring you really topical, really important things that we think you need to know, you need to understand. This is a live show. Hey, Tom from Santa Monica, how you doing? Thanks for joining. And the idea here as a live show is that there's an opportunity for you to ask questions. And so when we have these experts on, feel free to jump in, pop a question. We're totally new to this. This is a grand experiment, right? So we're using new tools and new technologies. And I think one of the fun things about that is that as each of you, as you can see, I'm just here at home, we're all remote. I've got my 10-year-old daughter right next to me. She's observing this because I may recruit her to help out producing this show. We're all dealing with life and work and massive changes at the same time. And so we can learn together. We're trying to figure out how to produce a show here and bring you great information. We can share some of those tips and tricks if you guys want to find new ways to reach your audience. I think some of the live technologies are great. We're using an app called Switcher Studio. We have no affiliation with them. We pay for them like everybody else, but it's like a whole TV studio in a box. And so I've got my iPhone set up here, and these are really great things to do. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining. It's good to see you. So couple things. I wanted to share one thing again, just as a quick update. So you can see on the screen now, we did a change.org petition exactly 1 week ago today. And we did that because, as a reminder, what we do all day, every day is think about the real estate agent. What we do all day, every day is think about how to bring products that are going to make your life easier, create value for you. The agent you are at the center of this ecosystem, right? You are the market makers, and anything that we can do to build great products to help you out, anything that we can do, given our reach, 250,000 agents or ListReports users in all 50 states. We put together a petition last week to make sure that real estate agents as independent contractors are factored into some of the legislation that's going on. And we've gotten that up to 19,400 signatures, which is great in the first week. And so all of these things matter. So if we can use our reach to help drive positive change for you, then that's what we're all about. So let's see. What I'm going to do right now is introduce AJ. So AJ, you're going to come online in just a second here, but just by way of background, Ajay Shah is one of my co-founders. He's the CEO of ListReports. He is a 20-year friend. He's an amazing serial entrepreneur, the smartest guy I know. I've said that for years, and it continues to be the case. And so I'm super excited to bring him on. So AJ, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hey, Randy. Hello, team. How are you guys out there?
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, we've got a little split screen going here, AJ, which is pretty cool, so they can see both of us. And so what you and I talked about kind of leading into this was a couple topics, right? So one is the silly name of this show, right? So this is the Daily List Report. And what I did was classic Merriam Dictionary defines rapport as, and I've got a screenshot up here right now. So rapport is a close and harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. So, AJ, from your perspective, just let's talk about this for a little bit. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Well, first off, you have to understand that at ListReports, we're big fans of puns. So we had to work into this name right away, right off the bat, right? But
Amen.
absolutely. But more seriously, I think what was important with the word rapport is the fact that we want to create a level of familiarity and comfort with our agents. And Randy, this is that we've tried to get in front of our audience, our agents, in mass, right? In many ways, you, myself, the rest of the team, we actually like to stay in the background. This is not necessarily our comfort zone. This is not something that we've necessarily wanted to do very actively.
Well, just real quick, AJ, just to that point, right? We joked about this. We're like the worst marketers ever, right? I think we could be decent at it. Maybe we're going to get better at it, but we're not at the shows up on stage. We're not putting ourselves out there. We don't have big followings. We've largely, as you said, AJ, just sat behind the scenes and worked day and night for the last 6 years to try to build some really great products. So go ahead.
That's right. I mean, I think that's what we want to focus on, is delivering real value to the industry. But right now, Randy, I believe, and I think the entire team here at ListReports believes, that the best way that we can add value to this industry is through leadership, is through positive messages, true messages about what's going on, giving our own assessment about what's going on. Also being outside of the real estate industry enough as a team where we can actually see what the real estate industry is doing, and as technologists actually start to predict what tools, services, and capabilities that the industry needs in order to achieve what it needs to achieve, right? And so in order to do that efficiently at this point, it's important, it's imperative for us to be out there. And I applaud you for really pushing us to do this. Again, not my comfort zone, but this is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I'll tell you, AJ, it gets a little bit easier with time. And for all of you out there who are trying, again, to find new ways to communicate with your customers in your sphere, just sort of get on the horse, I think is the saying, and do this. So AJ, that leads nicely into, this forum, right? So this Facebook group is only a week old. We're north of 2,000 people now. This is going to be tens of thousands of agents here relatively soon, in our opinion. And, this forum, this Facebook group, is a chance for each of you to have a disproportionate impact on what we do, right? This is our, what's the right word? AJ, it's our focus group. It's like our big focus group, right? So AJ, talk a little bit about this forum, how people who are out there watching this, in a variety of situations across the country, right? What can they do? How can they get our ear here?
Well, I think first and foremost, just engage with us, right? So post your comments and tell us what you're thinking. This is intended to be a two-way dialogue, because frankly, guys, we don't have all the answers, right? We're trying to learn as we go along. We just happen to be in a position where, while you're doing the daily grind, you're figuring it out on a day-to-day basis, we can step back and we can see what the industry is doing and hopefully coalesce that into real advice and products and services that your teams can use, and frankly, that your families can use as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's great advice. And this is such a good opportunity for this. Look, all of us, as I said earlier, are dealing with a variety of situations, right? AJ and I actually live maybe 10 miles apart, and normally we would be together, right? But 5 minutes before the show started, there was someone mowing their lawn next door. I mean, we're all dealing with this. There's a level of empathy, I think, that we hope comes from this process, where we're all in a similar position, right? And those positions vary, but we're trying to balance the needs of life and all of the ideas and thoughts that we have around what's happening right now in our professions, And so, we want to be an ear. So, Age, I'm going to take a look at the comments here. We got a couple people who joined from some interesting places. So hello, New York. Hello, Mission Viejo. It's great to see you. Age, going on, this is our third week now as a company working from home. And so we were pretty early to make those changes for our business. But we didn't stop there, right? So we made a lot of other changes in terms of how we were operating and how we were trying to, there's two facets of this, right? How we were trying to protect, as everybody is, against the downside, right? But also what opportunities, and I think this is where we live most of the time, right? Is we see a situation and we acknowledge the risk, but we also look to create opportunities. And I think for those that are watching this out there who are facing a level of uncertainty, as we are, there's also opportunity in that. So, what are your thoughts on that, AJ?
Well, no, that's absolutely right, Randy. Every time something like this happens, and this is maybe the country, but even in moments like this, I think that you have to take a step back and you have to see what does this mean? What does this tell us? And what can we learn and grow from? And
Yes.
there will always be opportunity to do that. New players will emerge in this industry, and by that I mean, for those of you who are at the top of your game, you got to thrive and innovate. And for those of you who are just entering or at any phase of this industry, there are new tools and new strategies and new approaches that you're going to be able to take. And so I think that's really important. I do want to point out, though, Randy, also on a personal note, I think this is an opportunity for all of us to sort of evaluate our own lives and make considerations about the importance of, the fact that social distancing feels so weird and is so difficult for so many of us, even those of us like myself who's more of an introvert, right? It really makes you understand and value and appreciate the importance of other people in our lives, right? So how are we going to use this knowledge, this information, this wisdom that's coming to us in order to really up our games, to change up our strategies, and to excel? And there may be a time when things are going to be very, very difficult for this industry, but we can learn from this and we can be better as a result of it. And I think every single one of us, it's incumbent upon us, for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, to make sure that we're looking at that and that we're not wallowing in the situation, that that there's more to it than that.
Yes. And I think, just to put a pin in this, right? We've seen within our company, I know that we're super proud of this in our team, is a tremendous amount of creativity. I mean, creativity that we haven't seen before. And so it's been really nice to see everybody sort of step up in this situation and look for new opportunities. We're building more product more quickly than we ever have before in the history of this company. And we're really excited to share those things with you. And AJ will be back on Wednesday. We're going to talk a little bit more. Some of you have seen us bantering around about the digital open house and what experiences we can create and facilitate there to help make sure that you drive lead generation and that you can give a great experience to a potential buyer, even as circumstances change. And more importantly, how do we do that on an enduring basis, right? So we will come through this, and when we do, we want to make sure that there's some really great tools that you have at your disposal, because now is the time when disproportionately things will change, and a lot of them for the better, right? So this was a forcing function to adopt some new tools and technologies and digital closings and things that we're seeing across the country take shape and move at a quicker pace than that they ever have before. So, Age, that's fantastic. Any parting words of advice for our agents? There's people are struggling to process what's going on right now. So, if you have any parting words, we can wrap it after that.
Yeah, a couple thoughts. Number one, we call this group agentpreneurs, right? And it's really a play on the word entrepreneur, because each of you are entrepreneurs. You set out to create freedom in your own lives and for that of your family in a way that is risky, where you're taking chances out there, right? But remember, to be an entrepreneur is to find the optimism, the positivity, and the opportunity that comes out of any situation like this. We want to be that guide to you. We want to be leaders for this industry and for providing you the strength, the wisdom, the tools, the knowledge, everything that you need to do that. But this is your opportunity also, right? As we look at things, and no doubt in certain states and certain regions right now, things look a little bleak, and that there is going to be pain out there. But the fact of the matter is, as an entrepreneur, as an agentpreneur, as somebody who is set out to set your life and give yourself freedom and opportunity, you will find a way to do this, and we're going to do this together. And I assure you of that. We're going to do everything we can in our power to support this industry and to support each of you. Please reach out to us, connect with us. We're here to help you. We're here to make this industry and the agents of it thrive and succeed. There's a lot of companies out there who over time have said, hey, we're going to find a way to cut out the real estate agent. You, as an industry, are more important than you've ever been. Okay, people need guidance, advice, and support from you, and that's what you're going to do at this essential time for them. So we hope to be, a helpful hand in all of that, and let's do this together. We're going to make this happen.
That's great. Age, it's a really, really, really great advice for everybody who's listening. We actually had a comment from Thomas Ray, and we've got a couple people from New York. So hello, New York in the house. Said, can you speak to how we are showing property going forward? Thanks, guys. So Thomas, thank you for your question. There's a lot of variability, obviously, state by state. California, just over the weekend, is allowing that. They're not allowing open houses, but they are allowing showings, and you have to take certain precautions. And so, what AJ is going to be back on Wednesday talking about, and feel free to jump in here anytime, AJ, is how we can leverage all of the great benefits of digital, right? Digital provides some really great advantages, right? So the ability for somebody to actually tour, many homes, right, as they filter down what they actually want to see. And we don't believe that there's a scenario where, somebody won't eventually go and look at the house. And so some of this may take time as this unfolds. But how can we preserve the lead capture, which is so important in the concept of an open house? But really, from our perspective, is we're product people, we're technology people first and foremost, is how can we leverage all of the great benefits of digital to empower somebody to get more information in a better way than they would have otherwise? Age, I don't know if you have any additional comments there.
Yeah, no, I think this is the main point. A lot of the digital open house experiences that we're seeing out there, and God bless everybody who's trying to innovate out there and do it right. I think that's exactly the right perspective. Just do whatever you need to do. The fact of the matter is that they're lacking in something that we think needs to be a part of this. Number one, they're not very good at collecting leads. And,
Yes.
We all know that open houses are supposed to be one of our central funnels for lead capture. So we think that we can make that better. But number two, they're not really taking advantage of digital technology. And it's going to take us some time to get all of our vision in terms of what the digital open house experience could be out there. But you're going to start to see it. We're going to be doing some testing even as early as this week with a small bunch of agents, and we're going to grow that as fast as but at the end of the day, I think that this is actually a technology after COVID is all over and we've sort of returned to our normal lives. Digital open houses are going to be here to stay. So, and by the way, my heart goes out. I think Thomas is in New York. He said, I know things are particularly bad there right now. We want you to stay safe. Stay in your house as much as possible, Thomas, and just hope the best for everything that's going out there.
Yeah, no, I echo those sentiments, absolutely. AJ, thank you so much for joining us here today. I think your wisdom and perspective is always welcome, and I think it's comforting. And we'll see you again on Wednesday, okay? All right,
Thanks.
bye, AJ.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
So everybody else, thank you again. This is day one of the Daily List Report. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let us know. If you have feedback and advice for us, please let us know. We'd love to be able to factor that in. If you think that you have something to say that our agents would benefit from, message us, reach out to us and let us know. It's funny because last night I was thinking about, doing this for the first time. As AJ said, we're just not marketing people. And so this is a weird experience. And so I was thinking about like all of these news anchors and like their great sign-offs. And I was like, man, I need a catch line, like a catchphrase. I need to be able to say something to end this thing. And so the best I could do was this. So I'm going to play a 12-second clip for you guys.
Great story. Compelling and rich. Well, that's going to do it for all of us here at Channel 4 News. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
So there you go. There you have it. There's my sign off for today. I couldn't think of a better way to do this. Thanks again for everybody for watching. Just appreciate you all so much. Stay safe. Be careful. Let's innovate together. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.